on what that's likely to do and how it might impact trade here locally today.
Maura, it does look like it's going to be another difficult session for the Australian market to finish in the black. We saw an extremely ugly session in Europe, but in the US we did see those huge losses of around about 2% in Europe reversing course, and that was on the back of some rumours that we would see a bank guarantee coming through for Europe. And of course the SPI futures this morning have been higher up by 13 points, but after that press conference after the EU summit we have seen those gains deteriorating, and we are seeing the SPI now only up by 3 points. If we have a look at the euro, it's under the 126 mark. That's the lowest that we've seen since July 2010. And to give you an idea of the market reaction towards the press conference from the EU summit, we just have a look at the euro this morning. This is what it looks like. You can see what's happened during the press conference there, and we have seen the euro deteriorate. So the appetite for risk assets deteriorating there. We have a look at the turnaround on the US overnight. It was pretty amazing. The Dow was down by 191 points at one stage, but by the end only down by 7 points. But the fact that we haven't seen any firm resolutions in terms of this EU summit towards those bank guarantees, because we have seen depositors pulling out cash, and the fact that the Eurobonds seem a way off does seem to be a bit of a negative for the markets, which we're hoping for a little bit more action. It does look like they will be looking at a pilot for project bonds, and so this is for investment in things like energy, infrastructure, as well as the digital economy. So 230 million euros for that pilot initiative, which will end at the end of 2013. So a little bit of a growth initiative there. It's a very small one, but if we have a look at commodities, we did see them lower. Of course, the important thing for our miners today is going to be that China Flash PMI index, which is out at 12:30 our time.
On that HSBC Flash China PMI data, especially as concerns about China slowing more than expected really come to light, and it seems as long as Europe remains fragile, which given the outcome of the summit overnight, it will indeed continue to do so for some time, China's growth is likely to continue to be questioned. That, of course, correlating straight back to our market, to our Australian dollar as well. Tell us what you think is likely to occur after that.
Just as important as Europe, or even perhaps more important, is China for the Australian share market. And today we will get the HSBC Flash PMI numbers. So read on the manufacturing numbers. It comes out a week before the official numbers out of China. And these are going to be watched very closely. The April numbers, we saw a read of 49.1. That was actually the highest read that we've seen for 2012 so far. But it was also the 6th consecutive month of contraction. But we know that conditions deteriorated in April. If we have a look at the trade numbers or the industrial production numbers, it suggests that perhaps the Flash PMI numbers, which were at the beginning of April, may have overstated conditions. So there is a real risk that we could see a correction in these numbers towards the downside. Of course, the market's watching this number very closely because the general view is that growth in China bottomed out in the first quarter of 2012. But if we do see another weaker PMI read, well, that's going to spark once again speculation that China has slowed growth even further. So the PMI numbers, they're going to be very important, especially for the mining space. They're out at 12:30 p.m, so we're watching those closely.
Fielder's edible oil really heating up. What's likely to happen there?
This is for the Integro business, which could be worth around about $270 million. It looks like Cargill Australia, which made a tilt for this business a couple of years ago but was rejected by the ACCC, is back in the game. So it does look like the takeover battle for the Integro edible oils business is heating up. We know that Wilmar's probably still the front runner. It's bought 10.1% of Goodman Fielder stock at 58 cents. And if we have a look at Wilmar's business, it's an agri-business. It's the largest palm oil refiner in the world, and it's probably a good fit with Wilmar's business. But there has also been some speculation that perhaps Wilmar could launch a full takeover bid for Goodman Fielder. But all up, this speculation over its Integro business, the fact that Cargill Australia is in the game and interested, is going to be good news for Goodman Fielder.